Howdy partners, greetings, and I've got rather an interesting day ahead of me today. Heading down to Milton Keynes. I'm currently in Northamptonshire, not far from Daventry, and I'm checking out another farm shop on the way down to Milton Keynes. Got a day planned with my mum, staying overnight. So that's another farm shop to tick off. I think it's called the Marley farm, if I recall. There is another farm around here called the Old Barn Farm. That is not open till 11:30, so it didn't really fit in with my schedule. That's one for maybe another journey, departing later. See the beautiful Northamptonshire spring countryside here. Have a couple of road closures, so I hope I'm not going to run straight into one. That's my only concern here. And then I'm actually going to my friend's farm, a friend of mine of 30 years odd, that I've known for a long time. He's a farmer, and I'm going to go and check out his farm. He's got the lambs being born, the calves being born, and he's invited me to actually go out for a motorbike ride. So that should be cool. Be good to check in with him and actually include a bit of footage of a working beef farm. They do many other things: beef, lamb, veg. It's a very large farm on the outskirts of Milton Keynes, so I'll be nipping down there a bit later and looking forward to that, to catch up with my old buddy. So this farm, this is not an organic farm, it just happens to be on the way to Milton Keynes. I might see if I can get my mate to talk about some of the challenges as we walk around his farm, some of the challenges that farmers are facing now, because we know farmers are facing a lot of real challenges to survive. So yeah, if he's willing to chat a little bit, I might not put his face on camera. I'm not sure he wants to go on YouTube, but as I wander around, I'll ask him a few questions. And yeah, it's a quite nice bright morning. I thought I was going to run into some clouds, but so far so good. It's windy, so don't know how the weather's going to hold up for a bit later today. It's a Saturday, for when I go blasting along with my mate. Not exactly sure where he wants to go. Might have somewhere in mind. Some nice twisties around Milton Keynes. You can see all the rape fields here. They look a little bit waterlogged. We've had quite a lot of rain of late, which is kind of good for springtime to have a healthy amount of rain. Yeah, we're in April. It's warm today. Got a few layers on there, so I'm just about the right temperature at the moment. Might have to take a layer off though underneath my leathers for the ride this afternoon. I suspect it'll be warmer, pardon me. Yeah, that's these nice little hamlets and villages around here. I don't know if I've turned my camera on too soon, because I was hoping to just turn it on as we approach the Marley farm, but yeah, I haven't seen the flag yet on my sat-nav. But no regrets, this is absolutely beautiful countryside around here. I've also switched my Drift Ghost cameras. I'm trying again with my Pro camera mounted on the side and the SD camera mounted on the rear. Because I think I know what the problem was last time my 4K camera malfunctioned on me, and I think it was to do with the microphone and not having a foam on my microphone, which I do have now, so we'll see if that works out. Not exactly sure. Oh, look at this lovely little bridge here. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what produce this farm stocks, but it looked like kind of the usual farm shop, you know, veg. Hope I can get some eggs, because I'm in need of some eggs again, and maybe some chocolate to take to my mate later. Some bits and bobs. A nice little bridge hut. The usual stuff. Did you know that apparently you can survive on 1 egg per day? That's why it's good to have chickens, I suppose. The problem you've got is you like in a survival scenario, a disaster or something. You've still got to feed your chickens, but I suppose that depending on the time of year, they can scratch around and eat bugs and things. But apparently, so I heard, you could survive for a period of time on 1 egg a day. They're highly nutritious. I've come full circle with eggs. I used to think they might be bad for your heart, cholesterol and all that. But I've since realised that all this cholesterol fat stuff is all a scam to actually big up the sugar industry. That's basically what it's all about, and my opinion of eggs has really changed. You're welcome. So I generally have about 1 boiled egg a day now. I remember seeing the Bear Grylls Louis Theroux interview, where Louis Theroux asks him about his diet, and basically Bear Grylls is a steak man. Eats steak and eggs, and that's about it. Very low carbs. I've got to say, that kind of diet really doesn't work for me. There's a no one size fits all. I've come to realise that. Actually, it was a point David Wolf made. No one size fits all. He is actually a vegan. I've been vegan before, but I'm not now. I'm a 90% vegetarian, I would say, ish. The percentage varies depending on the week, where I am and so on. And high salad is the diet that works for me, but I know that there's carnivores who do super well. I've been exposed to some podcasts on that, notably the Joe Rogan one, where he's interviewing the nutritionist, or a couple of nutritionists, a lady and a man. Yeah, this is all farmland around here, as far as the eye can see. And yeah, and you know, like beef fat apparently is supposed to be the biggest source of vitamin A in food. Like, you can't beat it with not carrots, not nothing. So, you know, but then, so there are carnivores like the Eskimos who can do really well. They're eating really fresh, clean fish and meat from the Arctic Ocean, and apparently Iceland has a good health, the highest in Europe, according to a documentary that I saw a number of years ago now. I don't know if that's still the case. Obviously they're fishing in ultra clean seas, volcanic island. Okay, the road's closed. I might get a bit screwed up here, but maybe I need to follow the diverted somehow. Oh no, I can go straight across, that's fine. It's just that bit that's closed. That was where my sat nav was trying to take me earlier. No great shakes. So yeah, you can do well on a carnivore diet if that is the diet for you. It's not the one for me. I like high salad. I like walking around my garden, as you'll see from some of my YouTube shorts, picking dandelions. A lot of this I got from my mum, to be fair, when we lived in France, and from our French friends who used to tell us about these things. Whoa, I'm going to gravel here. I'm going to end up on my back. Just slow it down a tiny bit. It's the mud and gravel that's a bit of a nuisance, plus the potholes. Definitely going to have to clean my bike again tomorrow. Such is life. Can't get to a farm without getting a bit of dirt on your bike, really, can you? It's not a proper farm. And lately I've been eating primroses, the whole plant, the leaves, flowers and roots. They're growing a lot. this time of year. If you can't handle the primrose, just have the flowers. They're beautiful. Just sprinkle them, wash them really well, obviously, and sprinkle them on your salad whilst you can still, whilst they're still flowering. Yeah, spring. People forget that many flowers are fully edible, and I dare say nutritious. Look, this is the equestrian place around here somewhere. Maybe there is like an equestrian farm around here somewhere, if memory serves me. So let's just keep going and see where we end up, eh? This is very near to the other farm shop trip I did. You'll see in one of my previous episodes, the Dodds Manor Farm, and I want to go back to that one. That was such cool. To be honest, it's more of a coffee shop and bakery. That's what that is. Small shop. But you can get your cheeses, your bread. Oh yeah, bread. Awesome. Yeah, I did say bakery, didn't I? Your pain au chocolat, some dried meats, smoked meats, and other bits and bobs there. But the guy, yeah, he's just a really nice guy, and you could tell it was a magnet for the locals. Nice pub there. So if I run out of options, I'll go back there on my way to Milton Keynes. And the coffee was good as well. But I'd prefer to kind of check out the other options first. Check out what farm shops there are. You know what I mean? Yeah, buddy. I'm past a body of water here. What do you think about these windmill things, wind farms? I've got mixed views about them. I've seen pictures of them oozing oil and blowing up and seizing up in the winter in some places. I don't know. I think the idea is good. I just think the whole green agenda has a more sinister underbelly. I'm all for the environment and everything. It's just the motives behind these city-dwelling elites that are pushing this, that own their... Wow, look at this place. Whoa. That own their fleets of private jets and cars, fleets of cars, and go to their climate meetings in their private jets and then in their motorcades. Yeah, hypocrites, basically. And you know what? Stuff them. I will ride a petrol bike as long as I can, as long as I'm allowed to. I feel like we could be nearing our destination, although I haven't quite seen the flag yet. We'll see if we can catch a little bit of sneaky footage of the farm shop, like I like to do. Just leave my cameras on as I walk into the shop. That's just how I do it. And yeah, hopefully they're open. Did say 8:30 on Google search, but I don't think they have a website, so it's not always easy to confirm. But then, do you know what? Just like we did with the Pix farm, if we end up just driving past, it's not the end of the world. At least I've shown you where there's another farm shop where, if you're in the vicinity, you can nip in. Oh yeah, I see the flag. We're pretty close now. So Marley, if I've remembered right, Marley Farm. I see no if I've got that wrong, but I think that's what it is. Let's go check it out, see what goodies they've got and what presents I can buy for my mate, the farmer. See, what do you buy a farmer from a farm shop? I think I'll have to look for something more unusual in there. Something for my mum, something for my sister. I'll get it sorted. Beautiful violet flowers growing off the wall there. And how far are we from Milton Keynes? I suspect we're probably about half an hour, judging by the time it took from the Dodds Manor Farm to get to MK. I'm really enjoying this countryside, guys. I think the best thing I've bought this year has been the GoPro camera. It really does seem to be the camera of choice for moto vloggers. Though there are other cameras out there, but this one I can take underwater when I go to the Red Sea later this year. Right, we're coming up on the left. We get a turning up here on the left. So is it signposted? It's always good when the farm shop has a signpost on the main road. Okay. Golden Hill Farm. Okay, have I got the right place? I have no idea. I think I need to go down here, maybe. The lodges. Okay. I don't know if I've come to the right place, honestly. Felt like if I walk in that place, I might I might end up committed. That didn't really look like an asylum, but definitely not the right place. So it's telling me to go back down here, and so is my other sat-nav now. Very weird. So let's see. And I don't want my phone to come flying off here, but I've got literally no signal on my phone. Nah, there's something wrong. 0.4 miles. Something going wrong here. So unless I manage to find it down here. Oh no, this is Byfield, so this is where I'm supposed to go. 0.2 miles, 1 minute. Then I may have to knock it on the head and just hope that I find somewhere else. But let's see how we go. Let's just go a bit down here. Could be somewhere down here, couldn't it? It's supposed to be in Byfield. Let's look out. Ah, here we are. Lucky. We made it. Awesome. Oh, there's a beautiful peacock down there. Morning. Morning. Come to do a bit of shopping. Is it okay if I leave my bike there? Here we are, I'm just outside where my dad used to live years ago, up until the early mid-90s, a place called the Crescent, Havisham. I didn't knock the door. I think my dad's girlfriend at the time, she's dead, my dad's dead now, but one of her boys lives there, I think. But I don't know if he's still there. A guy who I've known since I was about 2 years old, but I've not seen him for many a year, so I'm actually on the way to somewhere else. I didn't feel like knocking the door today, but one of these days I will, just to see if Loz is still there, or Dave, or two twin brothers in fact, I don't know which one. I thought it was maybe Loz who lived there. So that was Havisham. I'm on my way to my friend's farm. As you would have seen a bit earlier in the video, I stopped at the manor farm in Byfield near Daventry on the way here. Lovely little farm, a very sweet old lady in there. I bought 18 eggs from her and some cookies to take to my mate, and she revealed that her husband was a butcher. They're a retired couple, they're obviously still running their farm. There was a peacock there. But her husband is a butcher, and she had a load of sausages in a fridge that were like freshly made by her husband. And I would have got some, but my mum's a very strict vegetarian. In fact, today she was talking about going vegan to lower her cholesterol or something. I don't think she'd appreciate me keeping sausages in her fridge, so... Although she does have a dog. She does give the dog meat, so maybe I could have got away with it. Enough of that. This is beautiful Bucks countryside now. This farm does not have a farm shop to my knowledge, but it's an old friend's farm. So I've been coming to this farm for 30 odd years, and he's had barbecues there, all sorts. So he invited me to drop by. I think we might be going on a bike ride today because he's a keen biker, but I hope I can have a little look around his farm. I understand that it's the lambing season and the calving season, and I might capture a bit of footage. Back in the day you could just ride down the drive straight onto his farm. He has a number of businesses who he lets properties to on his farm, which is a good way for farmers to diversify. A lot of farmers do that, but nowadays you can't just ride down the drive. There's a big black gate there and you have to ring the buzzer, which is perfectly understandable in this day and age. I think it's called Manor Farm. I've been going there 30 years, but I can't exactly remember the name of the farm, but I think it's Manor Farm. soon be able to remind myself. Lovely thatched roof there. You'll see quite a few of those around here. And I hope to maybe just to be able to ask my friend about some of the challenges to do with farming these days. Hear it direct from a farmer, and so let's go and check this out. I'm almost there. Be there soon. There's good twisties here. This is where Hanslope Park is, and I did apply for a job there once. Hatton Court. I don't know if you can go in there. But it's a super, they put you through a big security check on steroids to get a job there, and I don't know if as soon as they checked my dad out, maybe they thought, nah, that's probably not the reason I didn't get the job, because I've been through similar government security checks on other gigs and passed them. So yeah, it was Manor Farm, the name. But he's opened the gate for me today, so because he knows I'm coming. I guess. It's a beautiful farm. This a very nice property, quite extensive property, I believe, in all directions. But it is wonderful to see a working farm like this. I think it's a successful farm, and also to be able to go to a friend's farm for a change. Please drive slow, children. Very old sign, probably from when my mate was a kid, when his old dad ran the show here. So here we are. So that was a rather enjoyable afternoon round at my mate's. Didn't really get to see much of the farm because I would have liked to have shown a little bit of the farm, but we decided just to have a chat and then just jump straight on the bikes. And really awesome ride today, although somewhat windy. But yeah, Robert kind of takes it to the next level on his Aprilia sports bike, so put me through my paces there, but it was great fun. All the way up to Wellingborough through the country roads and back through past the outskirts of Bedford. So that's that, and I had another enjoyable day of discovering farms. One new farm shop on the way down here, and then one farm that I've been to many times over the years to see my friend. And so now we're going to head back into Milton Keynes to my mum's and go and relax and have a bite to eat. I think that's the plan, and maybe go down the offie and get a few beers. So this is Lost Paramount, and ciao for now.